fix misunderstandings easily with this one tool. We're going to fix misunderstandings, most of them, like over 90% of them, easily with this one very simple tool. My name is Carla Caldwell. I am a nurse health coach. I have dedicated the bulk of my career to understanding communication, to teaching it. Communication is usually the problem, and it's most often the solution, which I think is super awesome. Today, I'm going to be talking about a skill that comes from crucial conversations. I highly, highly recommend this book. I have read it so many times, and I am actually a crucial conversations facilitator. And the skill that I'm going to show you today is one that I use every day. So, this skill that I'm going to talk about is useful when you are having a conversation and you notice the other person is misunderstanding what you're trying to say. So maybe they get silent. Maybe they start to get defensive. Maybe they look upset. Maybe their tone changes. I'm going to show you a tool to manage this so that you can get back to engaging in positive conversation. So, one of my favorite quotes from Crucial Conversations is, "At the heart of almost all chronic problems in relationships, teams, organizations, and even nations are crucial conversations people either don't hold or don't hold well." That's from the Crucial Conversations book. And today, we're talking about a skill that helps you to make communication safe. Good communication only happens when there is safety: mental, emotional, physical safety. So, the core principle from this part of the book is that people rarely become defensive because of what you're actually saying. So they're not becoming defensive because of the content or the words. They're getting defensive or upset because of what they think you are saying. So if that happens to you, it's very easy to restore safety and to get back to conversating in a positive, effective manner if you do this one thing. So here we go. We're going to get right into it. Let me scroll down. I took some notes. So when you notice that someone is not understanding what you're trying to say, maybe they get silent, maybe they get defensive, maybe their body posture changes, then you want to stop talking and you want to rebuild safety so that you can get back to the conversation. It's important to address this misunderstanding right away. When we don't address it, things just get worse and we're misunderstood. We don't move forward. So, what you're going to do is you're going to stop talking about the subject and you're going to do a contrast statement to fix the misunderstanding. So, what this means is you are going to say a statement of what you don't mean, and then you're going to say a statement of what you do mean so that you can get back on track. So, you want to clarify what you don't mean, and then you want to say what you do mean. I think it's easy to understand this if I give you an example. I'm going to give a work example, and then I'm going to talk about the examples of contrast language. So let's say you're in a meeting and everyone's working together on a project. Everyone has a different part of the project, and one of your teammates, Jeff, is you're concerned about his part of the project because the department he's in has just lost half of their staff. So you're thinking, how's Jeff going to manage this part of the project? They're missing half of their staff. You're a little worried about it. So you speak up in front of the group, in front of the team, and you say, I think Jeff's part of the project is in trouble. Jeff gets upset. His voice, the tone, and the sound are up. And he says, my part's not at risk. Everything's fine. Why don't you get your part? And you're like, oops, I just wanted to help. So how would you use a contrasting statement? What you do, remember, you want to say what you don't mean and what you do mean. So you're going to stop talking about the project. You're going to look at Jeff and you're going to say, Jeff, I don't mean to say that you are not competent. I do want to focus on that your department lost half its staff, and I want to make sure we help you. A lot of times, this alone will help to fix the conversation. Remember what I said earlier, that a lot of times misunderstandings occur not because of what you're saying, but because of what the person thinks you are saying. And so when you notice, I want you to think about that. Think about any conversations you've had either at work or at home. And remember what that feels like when you're talking and you mean well, and then all of a sudden you're noticing the other person's not reacting well, and you're like, you want to stop, right? And then you want to use this skill. You want to say what you don't mean, because right away you want to fix any misunderstandings. You don't mean this, you do mean that. Here are some useful stems for the don't part. You can use things like, my intent is not to. I'm not trying to suggest. My goal isn't. And then you follow it with, I do want to focus on, or what I'm hoping we can solve. I do want to discuss. I must use this skill at least once a day. And both in my career and in my personal life. Because misunderstandings are very, very common. Everyone is perceiving things through their own lens. And if our goal is to improve communication, then we want to be on the lookout for when the person we're speaking to is starting to misunderstand us. Let's look at, I want to look at a few other examples. Oops. I'm sorry. I went too far. Okay, let's look at a work scenario and then let's look at a home scenario. So you're at work and you notice your colleague is talking about, in this particular example, they're talking about a new heart health tool. And you go up to them and you're like, oh my gosh, there's a new tool. I want to show it to you. It's so good. It's from the American Heart Association. And then your colleague says, excuse me, I've been a heart health nurse for 20 years. I know what I'm talking about. And you're like, oops. So you want to stop the conversation and fix the misunderstanding because you just wanted to share a new tool because you just learned about it and you wanted to share it in case she didn't know about it. You didn't mean to imply that they don't know what they're doing. So a contrasting statement in this situation would look like, I don't mean to say that you don't know about heart health. I know you're extremely competent and you know a lot. I do want to share a tool that was just released in case you hadn't seen it yet, because I just learned about it yesterday. I use that one a lot. I mean, think about it. Think about how many times you have at work, at home, in the community, you wanted to start a conversation and someone got a little defensive because they thought maybe you meant that they didn't understand something. Has that happened to you before? I'm going to raise both my hands and my leg because I encounter that a lot. And that's not what we mean most of the time. Most of the time, we're just excited to share information. So I don't mean, but no buts. I'm sorry, I'm going to talk about that in just a second. I don't mean this. I do mean that. Let's look at one more scenario. So this is a personal. Any of you have kids, teenagers? Let me know in the comments if you have children. Okay, so your teenager just missed a math assignment and you asked, hey, what happened? And he just starts getting defensive. He's like, it's not my fault. I didn't know. La, 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 la. And you're like, your intent, you just wanted to help him because you know he has a lot going on. You think he might need a little help getting organized. He's perceiving your intent like he's in trouble and he might lose some privileges. So you want to stop the conversation and do your I don't mean, I do mean statement. And that might look like, it's not my intention for you to be in trouble. I do want to understand what's happening so that I can help you get organized. I know you have a lot going on. This is actually a real life situation that happened to me. And it helped us move towards dialogue. I know that when I use this skill, things go way better. When I don't use this skill, things usually escalate and both me and the other person walk away from the conversation not understanding each other and not moving towards a problem-solving positive situation. Okay, so hopefully those two examples are helpful. And I just want to give you a few tips. And you may have noticed, I actually, I made this mistake earlier. Avoid using but between don't and do. It can negate the first part. And if you do it like I did, it's okay. You just say, no but, and. And it's all right because we're all learning. And the more you practice, the better you'll get at this. Okay? Always, always, always include the don't part. That is the magic sauce for this communication skill. When the don't part shows empathy and it's you addressing the other person's misunderstanding of your intent. It's the most important part of this tool. A quick reminder that people are often reacting to what they perceive your intent is, not your actual language. You could have the best intent and have the most beautiful words ever, and someone may still misunderstand what you're saying because they have their own life situation. They're coming to the table with their own biases, and so they may misperceive your intent. You can use contrasting statements to clarify and restore safety. It's really effective. I hope you will take this out on a test drive. Let me know in the comments if you decide to use a contrasting statement. I think you'll find that it is so helpful, so extremely helpful for addressing misunderstandings. So again, when you're communicating with someone and you notice that they're not understanding your intent, maybe they're reacting defensively, you're going to stop the conversation and you're going to say, I don't mean this. And then you're going to say what you do mean so that your conversation can get back on track. All right. If you found this helpful, please share with your network. And I am rooting for your success. Make sure you are following and subscribe to my newsletter so that you can get a science-backed tip for health and for communication each week. I'm rooting for your success. Have a great day. Thank you so much for joining me.